Chapter 5 sample test here. We have number 1, the Fox News poll of 900 registered voters, 19% Americans re-gift, give gifts that they received as gifts. Women 21% are more likely than men, 16%, and results are nearly independent of income. The margin of error was plus or minus 3 percentage points. Describe the population. Fox News poll of 900 registered voters found that, so the population has to be registered voters. That's what they're trying to say. Determine the type of study. Found that 19 re-gifts, so this would be, they didn't do an experiment, they just observed or looked at the data of the voters, and so that would be observational. And it says explain, because they observed or surveyed these voters. What is the sample statistic? The sample statistic, there was 900, that was the number. 900 voters, and 19% re-gift, 21% were women that re-gift, and 16% were men. So those are the sample statistics. What is the largest percentage of women that re-gift according to this? So the re-gift of women was 21%, but they said the margin of error is 3 percentage points, so that's plus or minus 3. So the largest would be 21 plus 3, 24%. The smallest would have been 21 minus 3, or 18%. Okay, number 2. 100 people in a 60 to 70 and 70 to 71 categories were given cognitive tests. It is discovered that those that were given suggestion that their age might affect their performance on the test actually did worse. Determine the type of study. So this is experimental. And explain why. Because there's a control group and treatment group. Control group is those that were not given this, not given suggestion, and the treatment group was given suggestion. Okay, how do you make this study double blind? So you have to give suggestions to both groups so that they don't know what suggestions are being given, the ones that are being experimented on, and then the evaluators, ones that collect the data, have to can't know who got the suggestion of age. Okay? And what is one important question you should ask about this study to help evaluate its accuracy? Well, there's lots of them. One might be, was it half received, was it split evenly, the half got suggestion and half didn't, or was it not even? So you would want to ask, what percentage of each age group, what percentage of each age group were asked? Because if it was like only two were asked or given the, or were given the suggestion of age, because if there was only two that were given the suggestion and a lot that weren't given it, or vice versa, that would skew it. It should be balanced. And then you would also want to know, how did they select the study groups? Was it a random selection? Or was it, how did they do that? And were the number in each of the age groups fairly balanced, even, or did they favor? So those are some of the questions, and there's other possibilities for the answer on this one, but you gotta, there's several things, and these would be key ones that you want to know about. Okay, number 3. 300 randomly selected CW students are given the survey. What would be the criteria for selecting randomly 75 freshmen? Random selection means every freshman has to be equally likely selected. And this is from CW. Has to be equally likely selected by drawing a name out of a hat or assigning numbers and randomly picking those numbers. So they have to be equally likely selected. And what type of sampling is this? This is, we got different layers of the CW students, so we're picking from the different layers, and that's called stratified random. And you should know the difference between stratified random, just a random, cluster, systematic random. Know the differences there, so that if I describe something else, you recognize it as one of those 4 that we've been talking about. And that's page 1.